why wouldn't Christians get involved in politics? This is where the decisions are made for your family, for your community, for the good of society. So Christians should get involved in politics, and we have the freedom. Not every Christian in every country around the world has the freedom that we have to get involved in politics. So yes, it's not for the faint-hearted, it's for the called, but please get involved.
I mean, I would flip it on its head. Why should Christians not get involved in politics? You know, I grew up in a Christian family, who thought maybe Christians shouldn't get involved in politics, but you know, politics is about every aspect of our life, and if your faith is about every aspect of your life, to me the two seem to go perfectly together. I think every person brings their whole self to this job, or at least I would hope they would. And for me, my faith is integral to who I am, and so I couldn't not bring my faith into politics. It's as simple as that.
Well, there's a friend of mine who is here once said that politics is decided and history is made by those who show up, and so if Christians don't show up, other people will. That's a kind of negative but still important reason. More positively, we're told to seek the welfare of the city in which we have been placed. We're told to love our neighbour, and you don't kind of do that on your own. You don't do that in an abstract way, disconnected from society. Politics is a way of serving people, of loving our neighbour, and trying to live out our time whilst we have it in this life, doing good for those around us.
I think we're all shaped and moulded by our backgrounds, whether it's family, where we grow up, but our faith obviously plays an important part. So you can't negate the faith. You can't say, oh, you mustn't mention that. It's part and parcel of our DNA, if you like. So I think that's really important, because it's a big mix of people here. We've got people with faith, people with no faith, and it's really important that we come together and as Christians we speak out for what we believe in.
Well, everyone brings something into politics, some value system, some belief system. Why should it be any different for Christians? I've been a Christian now for nearly 30 years, and really it informs everything I think about, and my outlook on life and the way I approach the conduct of politics and the policy frameworks that I examine and stand by.
I think faith and politics are actually linked. I don't think there should be a separation. And for me as a Christian politician, that's really how I try to live out my faith, but also represent my constituents. I feel that it's important, and the theme for this year's prayer breakfast was God in the public square, and I think that speaks volumes to how anybody who is delivering a public service can have a faith in that public space.
Well, politics is a really important platform in our nation. I think it's so important that Christians come into the public square. As we heard here this morning, that voice, that agency is absolutely crucial. And to be there, knowing your value base, why you're there, and also being confident on that platform to do what's right for your constituents, but also for the country.
I mean, this morning was a beautiful example of that. I think what we learned today was how politics can be non-Christian, but Christianity can't be non-political. It is fundamentally, in its very essence, about how we live together, what's our purpose as human beings, what does that mean for our relationships together in our communities. And so I think Christianity and politics go together beautifully. They are the same thing for me, and I'd love to see more and more people in churches getting involved in politics locally and starting to make that difference.